Welcome to Ongoing Mastery, Presenting and Speaking, the podcast and the interview. And we have Pegine. Oh my God. Hello, Pegine. How are you?
I am fabulous. So excited to be here. Excited to be with you because I love your energy. I love how you talk about presentation skills. And I love that, we're in alignment in so many ways. So it's exciting to be able to hang out this morning after my workout to just be and have a chat.
Awesome. So obviously, I know all about you, but for the probably three people on the planet that do not already know you, tell them about the fabulousness that is the Pegine.
Awesome. So my name is Pegine. I only go by my first name because if it's good enough for Beyonce share, it's good enough for me. And if you knew my personality, you just know that it's really good that you just know me as Pegine. So I am one of, from a speaking perspective, I'm one of 8 women in the 58 member Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame with Anthony Robbins and Les Brown and Zig Ziglar. I'm the only Latina and, like I said, one of 8 women. So that's pretty awesome and exciting. I have been speaking and presenting for decades, and my clientele includes, my repeat clients include from General Motors and Walmart and the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Rite Aid, HSBC Bank. And I've done national tours for all of those companies and speak to women's groups and associations such as the International Association of Women in Transportation, the International Association of Women in Manufacturing. And so I am out there. Now, here's the other thing that's really fun.
Yeah.
I do not do my presentations just like talk. I have huge interaction with my presentations. I spoke in my largest group was 20,000 people. We have chants and mantras and interaction, and we create energy to change the world. So I believe that people need to be powerful and be you. I know everybody is called to lead, and that's what I specialize in, leadership roles and being able to say you're called to lead, be powerful, be you exactly as you are is amazing, but step out and own the stage. I teach women to be bold, be brave, be seen, be heard, and be paid well. That's what I do.
So obviously, I am 100% in alignment with all of that. But for the people who are not in our industry, who don't understand why interaction is so crucial, what is the power of audience interaction and why is it vital?
Oh, this is really great. So the reason interaction is so important is that that's how you learn. So you learn by practicing, by role playing, by repeating things. And you started that from the time you were very, very young. The time you were born, I was just playing with my granddaughter and we were going, your mother's name is Mama, your daddy's name is Abba, your grandpa's name is Papa, and your grandma's name is Abuelita, repeating. I'm going to repeat this until she starts repeating it back to me. Now she's only 6 weeks old, so she's not repeating it, all that stuff yet. But we learned this from the time Sesame Street, which is the longest running children's program in the world, trained every single person that we speak to right now was trained in the Sesame Street model. What that means is Sesame Street broke their programs up into 1 to 3 minute segments that included a lesson, a song, and a callback, so that people watching on TV, kids, were calling back and singing the songs. That's basic learning skills, and they mastered it. Well, those people are all grown up now, and they're in your audience, and they're listening to you. And so if you don't have interaction and you're just talking at them, what ends up happening is 80% of what you're saying is not heard, because there's no way for them to bring it within their souls and in their bodies to really live it. We learn from experience. We don't learn just from hearing. We have to
Yeah.
apply it. We have to practice it. We have to discuss it. And that's why interaction is so critical.
Fantastic. So one of the things that I notice with my clients, and you've noticed with your clients, is that even people who consider themselves extroverts don't always know how to own a stage, and especially that people who are introverts are still more than capable of owning a stage, even though they may not believe that. What is the skill set? How do you get them there?
You know, so what so there is a science behind speaking. And the science behind speaking not only comes from professional speaking, but it also comes from theater. So theater is a science, and that's I was trained. My education is in theater arts. So there are certain things that people have to know. Is, for instance, the stage itself. The stage is broken up in different segments that have different emotional strengths in terms of how you're speaking. That's why if you go watch a theater production, you'll see people coming up to stage right, to the corner, and those times they're having like kind of deep conversations. They might have conversations too. They might go to stage left and they're able to talk to the audience and have an engagement. It's a process because we are emotional people that think of our left and right part of our brain. And so the stage itself is part of that visual that helps us where we triggered in. That's why your most important moments need to be center stage. That means this is a critical point. You need to know that. It's also why sometimes when people are doing the lion walk in a cage, where they're going back and forth and 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 back and forth, it's like, would you just stay freaking still already? You're just driving me like I feel like I'm watching a ping pong game and you're not giving me any rest.
Yes.
So it for if an introvert knows, okay, stay center stage for main point, go to right stage for an emotional moment. If they have to know the staging and how they're blocking their stage, it gives them a sense of, okay, I have an action step. I have a purpose for doing this. I
Yep.
can do this. The second thing that is really important for both introverts and extroverts is the crafting of your speech. Now, the crafting of the speech is so critically important because not that you're memorizing each thing, but you have to recognize you are competing against the infamous cell phone.
Dun dun
You are
dun.
competing against, will they pick up the cell phone to tap their friends or will they stay engaged with you?
Yeah.
There is a difference why most people, you have these big rock stars and pop stars that are engaging, right? And they're amazing speakers, but they do a lot of stuff to keep you engaged. And we need to know to do the same thing. So I say construct your speech as though it's a rock show. In other words, you're having 3-minute song titles, which is your 3-minute point, that's then taking them on a journey of an emotional journey up and down
Yes.
throughout. They're saying, okay, just like a rock star goes, I'm going to do a ballad. I'm going to do a high energy pop song. I'm going to do a thought provoking advocacy song. Oh, then we're going to bring them back to romance. And then we're going to bring them back to let's jump, and let's go sing love. They actually craft their playlist in such a way that they're eliciting from you thought, emotion, participation, and engagement. And when you start thinking, if you can teach an introvert or an extrovert to do that, they come from two different places, right? The extrovert is like, okay, people, I know you're getting high extroverts by being around people. I know that you're like having an orgasmic moment because, oh my God, I get to talk to people. I get to be with you. Tone it down. It's like, do not be one of those lovers of the audience where you want to go, come on, we're gonna go. No, just come on. You need to ease in. Give me some time. You're supposed to be and helping me get to know you, calm down. So that's for the extrovert, right? They
Yep.
don't jump into this like, yeah, I'm speaking to you. It's I'm making love to the audience. So I need some foreplay. I need some. Can I do that as I'm talking to you? Is this
Oh,
okay
yeah.
with you, Kristen?
Oh,
When
100%.
I'm building you up and bring. For the introvert, it's when they know, oh, there's a process. I could do
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Oh, this is about how I serve them. Oh, I could do how they serve them. It's taking away, it's not about me. So notice for both of them, right? The extrovert, it's not about me. It's
Hmm.
about the audience. It's about taking care. It's not you getting a high off. This is not, we are not there to serve your neediness of being
Yes.
seen. And for the introvert, it's not about you. We really don't care if you're uncomfortable. What we care about is what you have to say to us to educate us, to inspire us, to show us a way. So for both of them, the middle ground is it's about the audience. And it's about you taking them on this beautiful roller coaster of emotions and thoughts and lessons and learnings and make them into 3-minute segments. Because if you don't, you can easily get them to look at their cell phone.
Yeah.
And the
100%.
competition is rough. The competition for their mind space, their their headspace is um, you have a lot of competition when you're speaking to somebody. You just do.
I love all of this. This is perfect. So I had an experience where I saw somebody who was very committed and very intelligent, and he took them on an emotional journey. So he was doing a keynote. He took us on an emotional journey, but he did something that I would like your take on. It was a very powerful speech, but at 2 points, it made me cry in the middle and at the very end. What do you think about ending on the fact that some of the people in the audience are crying?
Oh, that's a really great way to end a program.
Okay, yep.
That was, I need time to recover. So you have women. So you have women running to their audience to the bathroom to wipe their eyes, right? The challenge with that is why are you bringing them to the brink of tears? What's the point?
Yep.
So you can have them be emotional. They can have a powerful teary-eyed emotion, but you cannot leave them landed there, especially at an end, right? You've got to bring them up. And it's kind of, so I think of it as a speech as kind of a parenthesis of a person's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming in to hear you speak for an hour. So this is the parentheses. They're going to hear you for an hour, and then you're going to end the parentheses because they need to leave and go on to the next
Yeah.
experience, right? The next, especially if they're at a big conference, they need to get out of that room, go to the bathroom, get to the next thing. And if they're left in a very heavy emotional state, it is really hard to disengage that state
Yes.
of mind, that frame that you're in. And so it is in, again, it is in the caring of the audience to let them know, okay, so here's the ending, and the dog got run over, and we found the dog, and the dog is now in my arms. Oh, so everybody touch your hand. At least then you do is an interaction. Everybody talk to the next person and say, we're going to be okay. Talk to the next person. We're going to be okay.
Yep.
Thank you for having me. So that there's a close to
Yes.
that experience.
Yes. Thank you. Because
You
that
know,
that's something that I've explained to a few people, and I mean, the emotional journey thing is something not everybody does, as you know, but
right.
they don't understand the hook at the end. Like the ending matters, the fact that we're responsible for the emotional state of our audience when we're done with them. How how hard is it when you're working with a new client to get them to the place where they understand the power of that and the respect they have to have for that?
This is so.
Sorry, it's a tough question.
No, it's not, because the client hires you to do your job, and the client's desire, most important, is, what are their objectives? Oh, they want to learn this, this, and the other thing. We want them to walk away feeling um, impactful, excited, or whatever, right? So we always ask them, what do they want to learn, and how do you want them to leave it? I've never ever heard anybody say, I want them to leave hysterically crying at the end. That would be what
Yeah,
I
that
would
would.
want them to. I've never heard that. That's never been what a conference person would want, right? We want to. I always ask what's happening after my speech. Are they going to lunch? Are they going to another session? Are they going? I need to know, so that I know that when I can incorporate in my speech, if I'm going to do to, because I'm also helping the client having a great conference. Um, the First off, this is my perspective, Kirsten. If I have a client who is going to tell me what my speech is supposed to do, and is going to be looking at my script of what I'm saying, that is not a good fit with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not changing for you. You could have gone on I have YouTubes of me. I have tons of social media. If you don't know how I present by now, we're probably not a good fit, because
Yeah.
you're just not going to get that kind of, you're not going to script me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but I have found in my career that most of the people that hire me
Mm-hmm.
just don't care about the detail. It's not that they don't care. They trust me enough that my content, my way of doing it, is going to achieve their goals.
Yep.
You talk about this. This is so funny, because so here's how, God, here's how a client might talk to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I tell you that I have a speech this week coming up on Monday. They booked me a month ago. We have not had any conversations. I've tried. I had my first conversation yet the day before yesterday, for half an hour,
Wow.
with the president and the CEO. The CEO came on and said, I can only speak to you for 15 minutes. Now, this is her major conference with some of the most powerful people in the industry.
Okay.
And so I went, okay, shoot. What is your vision? What is you seeing? What are the two? And I say, what is your vision? What are you seeing? And who are the two top difficult people in the room that I need to know are pushing your buttons? Those, and so she was able to answer those questions, and then she went, okay, I got to go. And she was
Okay.
off in 15 minutes. And then I was able to speak to the president, who was also on the phone call, and she had only had another 15 minutes for me. Now,
Okay.
she's handing me to for 6 hours over 2 days of the most important people in the organization. They trust me enough
Yeah.
that I will figure this out. That requires, so once they tell me that, here's what I'm doing. So I'm going on every LinkedIn, I'm looking at every audience member, I'm reading their profiles. I need to know who they are. I need to figure out, I'm going to do, that's what I'm doing all day today, is researching these people, because I did not have any of the information until 2 days ago.
Mm. Okay.
So I'll research all the people that are going to be in the room. I'm going to um, research statistics and information, because I found out things that, and I questioned them on why they were doing certain things. They're like, oh. So I'm going to bring my stuff,
Yep.
my expertise of what I know, based on the questions that I would ask if I had more time. That is very unusual that I only get a half an hour
Yeah, that's really
for
surprising.
a speech. That's super rare. It's usually at least a good hour after I have a very detailed questionnaire.
Hmm.
These people didn't bother with the questionnaire. So you got to go with what you go. I'm getting paid really, really well, really well. So they are trusting my expertise to bring game on.
Well, it's
Is that
lucky
answering
that
your question a little bit?
yeah, no, it's super lucky that they're getting you with your vast experience because that situation for somebody with less experience would be a disaster.
Oh, it would
It's
be a
just
disaster. They, yeah, and but that's also why they selected me. Is that they know well, and I also told them, I said, you know, I get that you have your 15 minutes you have to do here, so I'm not going to do any bullshit with you. We're just going to go right there, down and dirty. These are the questions I need answered. You need to tell me the people that you're, and most importantly, see, most people would say, they give me the agenda of what they want to do. They're going to look at this, and I could look at the agenda. I said, okay, which part is really the most important thing that you want me to address, and why? What's the politics behind this? So I knew enough
mhm.
that how they were framed. This is sending it to the whole board, but I know politically they really have some behind the scenes goals that they want to have, and I need
Yeah.
to be aware of that. I need to know how to make this a win. So
Mhm.
I was able to find out things that they didn't even think about asking. So I was able to find out, what are their number goals that they weren't. I said, and don't tell me the number goals that all sound no so nice and pretty. I need to know what is it that you want them to come to the conclusion of.
Yes. Yep.
Because so anyway, but that's not a typical speech, right? The
Mhm.
typical speech is, oh, we selected you because we want you to inspire us and share your story. And I always have to ask them, what's part of my story is important. So, you know, some people, as I'm those, I've been around the block. So some people want me to talk about my gang story. Well, that was so many decades ago. Like, I'm so not that person, right? But I understand that it's a story that inspires, right?
Yep.
So I have to balance that out with saying, okay, we're going to tell the story a little bit of the story, and then we're going to teach this other stuff,
Yep.
right? Because now every time I do the story, I'll say afterwards saying, I should really tell much more of my story, just spend a lot more on that. But I was like, oh my God, how long can I tell the same story? And then I remember the Rolling Stones, and I'm thinking, yeah, 80 years old, they've been singing the same song since they've been 25. Do they go in, oh, do I have to do the song again? So I have to go, shut up, Pegine, just do the story. They love the story.
You are a rock star. So yes, that is your those are some of your greatest hits. That's awesome. So what unfortunately oh god, I wish we had more time. What one if you could give the people listening and watching one takeaway about ongoing mastery of this craft of presenting and speaking, what is the Pegine from your gut first thought about what people really need to know about ongoing mastery?
How to be funny. They have to go to their local comedy clubs, and they have to commit themselves to going there for 3 months and being a stand-up comic. You've got to be willing to puke. You will puke. It's the hardest thing ever. But you really need to learn how to work an audience, how to make people laugh, the power of pause, the power of self deprecating humor, the power of resistance. That if a speakers before sounded a certain way, you don't sound like them, you own your own stage. And it's truly throwing yourself into hot boiling water But if you really want to be a great speaker and you really want to master it, you want to go to a local comedy club and do stand up comedy, because you need to learn the power of pause and laughter. If you want to make a lot of money, that's what you really want to do, because
Fantastic.
that's critical.
Awesome. So you have Team Pegine as a website, and you also have Pegine.com.
Correct.
So what, just as our wrap up, what are the two, so just hit people for where they can find you and why?
Yeah, so if you're a woman speaker, expert, authority, who wants to be an amazing speaker, be surrounded by speakers who are I focus on women speakers and experts who get paid. Be bold, be brave, be seen, be heard, and be paid well as a speaker. So you go to Team Pegine, TEAMPEGINE.com. You go there, you'll find I have a free Facebook group for professional speakers and experts. I have coaching, we have a mastermind, but everything is there. Now, if you're all listening and you would love me to come in to speak to your group or be hired to your conference or share, then you want to go to my speaking site, which is PEGINE.com. And if you go there, because I just loaded up just yesterday, my new book of 50 Success Secrets for Feisty, Fearless Females this great book that I wrote. You can go to Pegine.com, Pegine.com, go downstairs, sign up downstairs, go to the bottom, and you can get the book. It's freaking awesome.
Fantastic. And one more time, that's PEGINE.com. All
Correct.
right.
And then the other website is Team Pegine. And Kirsten, I have to tell you something.
Yes.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that I got you on here. It's been a thing for like about a year now. I'm like, we got to get Pegine. So thank you so much for making the time. I really, really appreciate it. And
well,
for everybody watching,
me.
oh, yes. Yeah. Happy to. Everybody watching and listening, you see the power, you see the magic. Go check it out. And we will see you next time. Thanks for coming, and leave comments because we want to have some engagement with you. Have a good one.